Today we'll be discussing Section 702 and why this allows the U.S. government to look at your emails. Under authority granted by something called Section 702, the U.S. government routinely collects and searches the online communications of innocent Americans without a warrant through what are commonly called upstream and PRISM, now called downstream, surveillance. Section 702 is a surveillance authority passed as part of the FICA amendments in 2008. That law amended the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act of 1978. Section 702 is supposed to do exactly what the name promises: a collection of foreign intelligence from non-Americans located outside the United States. As the law is written, the intelligence community cannot use Section 702 programs to target Americans who are protected by the Fourth Amendment prohibition on unreasonable searches and seizures. But the law gives the intelligence community space to target foreign intelligence in ways that inherently and intentionally sweep in Americans' communications. Currently, Congress has to renew Section 702 every few years. It was last renewed in 2018 and it's set to expire at the end of 2023. The bill that was most recently passed, S139, endorses nearly all warrantless searches of databases containing Americans' communications collected under Section 702. It allows for the restarting of about collection, an invasive type of surveillance that the NSA ended in 2017 after being criticized by the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Court for privacy violations, and it includes a 6-year sunset, delaying Congress' best opportunity to debate the limits of NSA surveillance. Now, what does this mean for you, just a regular, normal citizen? That means that the government can look at your emails and other kind of communications online, and they don't have to even try to get a warrant. They don't need a warrant, they don't need a judge, and they can look at your stuff all they want under the guise that, oh, we're going to stop, international, hackers and things like that. But at the same time, they're watching you as you, talk to your grandma in an email. And you might think, well, I'm not doing anything wrong, so, why do I care that they're watching, what I say to my grandma or my friend or my boyfriend, my girlfriend, whatever. Well, what sometime they decide to make, certain things illegal. It's illegal to say this. It's illegal to do that. And then they've, compiled a list of people whom they can go after, for these things. And so it's always the best. I mean, that's why we have the Fourth Amendment, so we don't have to be subject to illegal search and seizure. And that's what this is they can just willy-nilly go through our stuff and search it all they want without a judge or a court order or a warrant. In the next few months, you should prepare to hear a lot of debate throughout Washington about Section 702 surveillance power, and should it continue to exist beyond 2023. In the big picture, Congress is faced with deciding whether to reauthorize Section 702 of the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, which allows intelligence agencies to conduct a warrantless surveillance of non-American citizens outside the U.S. before it expires at the end of the year. But with a divided Congress and growing Republican scrutiny of intelligence agencies, the federal government's path to reauthorization will face several hurdles. Little is known about the true extent of 702's usage within the intelligence community, but at a bare minimum, it allows the CIA, the NSA, and the FBI to spy on people abroad through backdoors and telecommunication networks and other online communication systems. General Paul Nakasone, head of NSA and U.S. Cyber Command, said that 702 powers have helped the U.S. government stop planned terrorist plots and cyber espionage campaigns before they happen. However, unlike other FISA provisions, 702 does not require a target to be a suspected terrorist, spy, or other foreign agent, and often, conversations with U.S. citizens get lumped into the 702 data collection. FISA debates have long lent themselves to strange bedfellows. The intelligence community and a key group of moderate Democrats are likely to support the continued existence of these intelligence powers. Meanwhile, progressive Democrats, conservative Republicans, and civil rights and privacy groups will push back on what they each view as an unchecked overreach of government power. 702 provides a critically important capability to the Intelligence Committee as we face rising challenges from China and Russia, as well as threats from terrorism, cyber actors, and others, Senate Intelligence Chair Mark Warner, Democrat, Virginia, says in a statement. The lack of public disclosures about how 702 is used behind closed doors will be a huge theme of the debate. Advocates are likely to push to learn more about the full extent of how government agencies use communications collected through the 702 program, since the information is stored in a database and remains accessible to several agencies for years at a time. But intelligence agencies often cannot share their work, so they don't compromise ongoing investigations, making it difficult to publicly explain why the broad surveillance power is needed. Conservatives, progressives, and advocates are expected to push for several reforms, like limiting the scope of who can be investigated, requiring a warrant for surveillance, and restricting how long the collected information is stored. Debates about FISA reauthorizations have always been tedious and filled with tension on Capitol Hill. In March 2020, lawmakers allowed Section 215 and other surveillance authorities to expire after failing to come to an agreement on broader changes to FISA. What's next? The Privacy and Civil Liberties Oversight Board, an independent government body, will release a report this spring with recommendations for Congress and the intelligence community for adding privacy safeguards into the surveillance program. I think it's a good idea that, they do have the right to spy on, foreign nationals in order to maintain security, cybersecurity, and, terrorist threats, things like that. But at the same time, I think they should have to get a warrant if that includes an American citizen. There should be somebody that is overseeing this other than just, an FBI agent, a CIA agent, things like that. And so otherwise, it's really, they're listening in, they're watching, and then they're storing this information for years. It's like, well, why store it if it's of no use to you? If it's just an American citizen talking to their friends, family, whatever, why do they need to, have that stored for all those years and several agencies available to access that information? We need our privacy. Privacy is very important because we don't want a tyrannical government using that information if, we get the wrong people in. If it starts becoming totalitarian, which, there's several things from both sides that are starting to lean that way. That's all I have to say on the topic today. I'll be updating this as things come to light. I hope you got something out of this. I hope you can take something else away from it other than just me chattering. Take care of yourself, be good to others, and peace out.